Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to the first day back post July 4th weekend. And again, I hope everyone had a great time. This morning we came in, talked about some levels, some retracement levels, some Fibonacci levels, some areas that we could see some support or not, and judge, the strength of this overall tape considering the type of snapback that we had last week. Oscillators went from minus 60 to plus 40 back to almost neutral today. So it burnt off a little bit of that condition, and the spiders held the 50 days. So let's just go through some charts and see where we're at. So obviously, big move off of that Monday low. Okay, the Monday low is right here, right back to old highs. And then today, you had a lot of excuses to sell down, whether it was the Italian banks, whether it was this, whether it was that, and pretty much held the top fib area. If you look at the chart, on my Twitter feed, you'll see from BP that this was the spot that we outlined and came pretty much to it and held. Maybe another day or so of inside action could be, what the doctor ordered for a move to the upside. Could stay like this until the jobs data. I don't know. All I know is that, last quarter the market was ready for a breakout on the jobs, or last month, I'm sorry, and they didn't deliver. I think if we get just a normal number, it could be helpful. But anyway, we got some price discovery. We hit as low as 2,080 and came off it, and we'll see whether or not we build a nice bull flag to give us a bigger springboard to the upside. Take a look at some sectors real quickly. The Qs also held its moving averages right here. It's my little pencil's not doing so well. Came off it, held higher from here to there. You want to plug your Fibonacci's in. You'll see not too much of a retracement with some time. Maybe this continues and then breaks to the upside, gives us a better pattern. The IWM was weaker earlier on. It came, a little bit off lows, but still kind of hanging out where it had to. So, at this point, kind of lining up. Nothing special here yet, but we'll get a defined resistance area to perhaps give us a better little entry if it gives us that. And then the bios actually never broke below Friday's low. So for the day, or for the day, it showed some relative strength. Okay, relative strength meaning, it held above the 8-day, which is the new momentum moving average. So I guess as long as it stays above this, maybe it actually will help the tape a little bit. You had your double bottom from way back when. Now a little sideways action could go a long way. If you take a quick look at the spiders, you'll see the spiders went below, okay, Friday's low, and obviously it's a different technical spot, okay, and came off again where the 50-day, all these moving average combined converged pretty symmetrically perfect, but was below Friday's low. So what I mean, IBB is having an inside day and a little relative strength just because it never went below Friday's low and held in there. So those are some constructive things. If we go up around high beta tech land, you look at Amazon. Amazon looks like best in breed. Again, if something is going to show any power and wants to break out, this name could be something that gets tech going a little bit. Okay, here's your breakout area. We haven't had a clean breakout in a while in any of the big names. Here was your 50-day doji. Here was your inside action. I did go home long it. Got stopped out of some in the afternoon when they took out the prior low, but got back involved, and now we'll see whether or not we can get some better action. Netflix opened up weak. Talked about the 94.80 pivot. Okay, could it stay below the gap or get back above it, and what did it do? While I was actually in meetings, it had the news with Comcast and broke below it, held the moving averages just like everything else in the gap, and squeezed higher. So if you bought it back when it reclaimed this 94.80, great job. You got paid pretty well. When it actually got up here before selling down a little bit. So this is definitely acting better with some volume spikes. So it's in the camp that it's trying to rebuild. And we saw it happen here, okay, and had a nice move. Now getting these volume spikes. I'm long a little bit of that too, but we'll see if there's some continuation. Lately we haven't had a chart that sets up and gives you follow through, just trades when you don't want it to trade. Some of you guys were talking about getting back involved in Bob. If you did, okay, it actually held higher also. Big time channel here, above the moving averages, upper end of the range. The Shanghai is above 3,000. Maybe sentiment in China's getting a little bit better, so this could get yourself a move. You look overall on the macro scale, and it's been consolidating for a long time below this area. So maybe this quarter is the quarter that it actually comes out with a really good report, and the market believes it, and then this somewhat of a cup and handle pattern gives you a nice move to the upside. So if you don't want to trade it because you have bad memories, maybe buy some calls that go out past the earnings, which I think is the first week in August, and you can participate that way. NTES, and also Chinese ADR, still acting really well. After a big move down on Friday, it's still held in there, and it's sloppy, but it has given you some nice trades. Then you go to what everyone's been talking about, obviously the miners and gold and yields, a 10-year yield down to historic levels because it costs you money to park it anywhere else around the globe besides here. So they're probably thinking U.S. Treasuries is better to get 1.3 or 1.4% versus paying to put your money overseas. So we'll see how this all ends. The miners gave us a cute little short to start the day, and then reversed higher. Here was your pivot. Guys are like, how did you dissect that trade? I'll show you how I did it. Guys on the VTF saw. Okay, first you had the gap up. Okay, I shorted a little bit right around here. I gave it some room. I saw this wide range bar come in. Then I added here, or actually somewhere around there. No, maybe here versus the high. Sorry about that. So basically, I think I shorted a little bit, just a feeler. And then once I saw this little king and queens little top pattern here, I got short a little bit more. And then on the VTF, I'm like, I'm short a little bit more GDX versus the high. If it breaks the high of 29.76, I'm out because I'm anticipating it. Instead, it broke below this and covered some here, and then covered some here. And then on this little spot, I think this is where, I put my stop here. I said if it gets back above this, I'm done with the trade, and just turned into a decent cash flow trade. The NUGT did the same thing. NUGT trade with much bigger range, et cetera, et cetera. Had a quick push up. This 5-minute bar traded below this one, so maybe you got short here versus that. And then all of a sudden, this kind of flag gave you a bit of follow through here, and then it went negative, and boom, and that was your trade. Anyone who was looking for more follow through, maybe you didn't see that there was big support here. Here is your next change of guard, small change of guard, bigger change of guard, and then this could have been your out as it resumed the move that it's been in, and that's that. That's how you make money trying to just trade 5-minute and 15-minute bars, but that trend is still strong. The TLT is knocking people's teeth out. Haven't shorted it. I have really no interest here because it's just beyond my comprehension. It's well above the 8-day, so it's hard to buy, and it's been knocking people's teeth out short. Even guys who were long. Look how it closed here, trapped everyone here, went sideways. Okay, held the 8-day, and then pow. So I'm not just going to short it overnight because I think it's too extended, but it's definitely something to be careful buying. And really, in closing, today was a very controlled pullback. I know last week a lot of people were trying to short Thursday into Friday and probably covered. So still not an easy trade. So if you covered and you're like, wow, first down day, we're going to fall apart, we're going to break, and you shorted after the first hour of the day, you're probably just as frustrated as you were on Thursday, Friday if you shorted into strength and then you covered for the weekend. Same way if you were long and you bought on Tuesday on the gap up and sold into the 2050 area and you watched it go into the 50 handle. So at this point, I feel like just let it all roll off the shoulders. There's lots of trading between now and the end of the year, lots of trading between now and the summer. Pick your points. The spiders, that 207.70 was actually the 50-day, the fib retracement. If you just waited to that spot-ish, you had a much better buy than buying the noisy area from 208 and change down. So pick the spots, and if they're not at the spots, listen to your iPad, watch the action, catch up on a show, and just do a little less until the areas line up. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I know the Italian banks are in the news, and everyone's up in arms about that. It's been a problem for a long time. So we'll see if the market wants to care about it, or they need something to talk about. That's why this morning I came in, I put my music on, I did my morning note, and I turned the TV off. So I didn't have to hear about what they were obsessing about because we had one down day after 4 big ones. So, is what it is. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.